Everyone in this painting is celebrating, drinking, dancing, laughing, everyone except one man. And that one man, the jester, the fool, the person whose entire job was to entertain, is the only person in the room who understands what is actually happening to his country. This is Stańczyk, painted in 1862 by the Polish artist Jan Matejko, and it is one of the most quietly heartbreaking images in the history of European painting. Look at him. He sits alone in a darkened antechamber, slumped in a red velvet chair, still dressed in his jester's costume. The bells, the motley, the cap. The costume that marks him as someone not to be taken seriously. Someone paid to perform, to deflect, to make powerful people laugh. But there's nothing performative about this face. His expression carries the full weight of a man who has just received news he cannot unhear. Eyes cast downward, body folded in on itself, his hands resting on the arms of the chair as if he no longer has the energy to lift them. On the table beside him, a letter. The news has arrived, and it is not good. Through the open door behind him, the royal court of Poland is in full celebration. Candles blazing, figures moving, the warmth and noise of a party that has no idea what the man in the next room has just read. That distance, the few feet of shadow between the jester's chair and the open door, is the entire subject of the painting. The court celebrates because it does not know, or perhaps because it does not want to know. And Stańczyk sits alone with the truth, wearing a costume that ensures no one will ever ask him what he thinks. The year is 1514. Poland has just lost the city of Smolensk to Russian forces, a significant and painful blow to the kingdom. A letter carrying that news has reached the castle. And while the court toasts and dances in the next room, Stańczyk has read it. He was the real court jester of 3 Polish kings, a man historically renowned not just for his wit, but for his political sharpness. His jokes were not simply jokes. They were observations disguised as comedy, truths made palatable by laughter. He was, by most historical accounts, one of the most perceptive men at court, which made him in many ways the most isolated, because the smartest man in the room is often the one everyone is paid to laugh at. Now look at the lone object on the table beside him. The letter, the news of Smolensk, sits where he has left it after reading. A cold, stark reminder that a vital fortress has fallen to the enemy, and on the floor below, his discarded jester's staff with its bell-ringed cap, designed to announce his presence with noise, with performance, with deflection. He has thrown it down, cast it aside. In this moment, there is no performance left in him. Matejko places these elements together deliberately. The letter of loss, the indifferent royal court, and the bell-capped staff of the fool, silenced on the rug. 3 things that together describe exactly what kind of world Stańczyk inhabits, and exactly what it costs him to see it clearly. Here's the detail that reframes everything. Matejko painted this when he was 24 years old, and he gave Stańczyk his own face. This is not simply a historical painting, it is a self-portrait in disguise. Matejko, a young Polish artist living under foreign occupation, watching his country's identity being slowly erased, painted himself into the body of a 16th century jester. Because the jester was the only figure in the court with both a clarity to see the truth and the costume that ensured no one would listen. That is what the painting is really about. Not 1514, not Smolensk, but the particular grief of understanding something that the people around you refuse to face and being powerless to make them see it. There is a kind of loneliness that has nothing to do with being alone. It is the loneliness of seeing clearly in a room full of people who have chosen not to. Matejko knew that loneliness. He painted it into a jester's chair in a darkened room while the party continued just through the door. And somehow, 160 years later, it still feels familiar. Have you ever been the only person in the room who could see what was coming? Leave it in the comments. And if this is the kind of painting that stays with you, subscribe. There are more waiting. This print is available on Galleria 48. If you'd like it on your wall, the link is in the description, and every purchase goes directly toward keeping this channel going.